welcome to another episode of the Anti-Social Chat Show. I'm your co-host Eleanor Gould. I am Chief Copywriter and Undomestic Goddess at Creative Copywriting. And Tara?
Yes, I'm Tara Tamiko, digital marketing consultant, lover of all things apps and chatbots as well. Hi Eleanor.
Hello, we've got something quite interesting to talk about today, but before we go on, I'd just like to say thank you to all our SoundCloud subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
You may be listening to us on there, and if you're not, you please go and subscribe so you can get all of our episodes. So today, Tara, we're talking about engagement.
Yes,
now,
we are
of the lover type.
Yeah, we're not talking about actually. Well, it's the season, isn't it?
It is, and it's very indeed, and it's quite actually relevant as well. There is an analogy there. So we're talking about engagement on social media.
Yes, I mean, I think one of the reasons why I thought it would be a good topic is I understand there are a few people that probably get a bit confused about engagement and content. And the reason I say that is, as I've mentioned before, I have a digital marketing transformation method, and it's step 4 on there, engage. And that involves, creating content. And I don't know if this has happened with you, of any of your clients, Eleanor, but as soon as I say, oh, perhaps you need to create content, they immediately think about blogging. And I just think that's not the only way to create content. What do you think?
Yeah, I get the same thing, Tara. And I think actually that, when anybody hears the word blogging, it puts the fear of death into them, because blogging is actually quite, quite skilled. You need to hire a blogger or a content writer or a copywriter to be able to do that for you, or you can attempt to do it yourself. If you're not comfortable and not, a writer, it can be very, very hard. So, yeah, but that's not what content always is. So,
it's not. I mean, I think it can be quite labor intensive, and I've always said, and I'll say it again, I'm not really big on writing lots of blog posts, but I do create a lot of content, in other kind of ways. One of them is on Facebook, and not always on my own page either. It can be within groups, but the main, from what I understand, people think, oh, I need to blog. If I need to blog every week, and get my SEO keywords correct and so forth. And it's not wrong. I think if you can do that and you do it properly and you do it really well, then I think it's going to, be really great. But, it's the same with advertising. Some people have a huge budget, some people don't. And there are ways to get around it. And so for me, I think the most important thing is to make sure that you're adding value. You're letting people know about what you offer, the services you offer. I think one of the ways you can do that is on LinkedIn. Right? Yes, because I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm in a challenge and I have to do day 1 of my challenge today. So I just thought maybe we could probably explain a little bit about your LinkedIn challenge and how maybe that would help a lot of people.
Well, it comes as part of a 6-part email kind of course and tips. And at the end, I invite you to a 10-day challenge. And the whole point is to boost your engagement, because engagement is what LinkedIn is really all about, in my opinion. And engaging on other people's posts is content. So you're not just, posting your own content that I give you daily prompts for, which will hopefully help, but also you're engaging on other people's, and by that you're providing value. You're showing who you are, getting your personality, your brand, if you like, across, and what value you provide. So that's the aim of it. Also, I give the LinkedIn email courses in 6 parts, because I want you to build up your profile first and get it right before you start a challenge, rather than starting a challenge and then after it think, oh, well, that didn't really do much for me. So that's the whole point.
But, I think that's really good, because it can sometimes be very difficult to understand what it is that you're going to write about. And I've been in the challenge before. I think we both did a very similar challenge on video. And that's kind of what has helped me to understand what I need to do going forward at the end of the challenge. So my question to you is, when they've completed the 10-day challenge, is that gonna be the end of it for them, or is it something that, you know, that they can continue?
Well, no, I mean, if they stay on my list, obviously they'll get a lot more tips. No, because hopefully that should kickstart you into getting used to writing content. That's why it's only for 10 days. There are other longer challenges you can do out there, but mine is for 10 days, just so we can, you know, you get used to LinkedIn, you get used to comment on other people's posts and what the kind of thing, you know, you should be writing. So, I mean, it's really interesting that you say about, you know, content not being blog posts, because it's absolutely not. It can be videos, it can be anything. And it always amuses me sometimes when you get people on LinkedIn who come in onto your posts and are kind of troll-like or rude.
Right.
The professional networking, that's what LinkedIn is, you know. And this is the content you are providing by, you know, making rude comments isn't really showing you in the best light. So yeah,
I've not seen that on LinkedIn.
It happens, yeah.
It must be happening more now because it's more what's the word, that people are using LinkedIn better now, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's probably why. But it's kind of interesting because when you're on Facebook and you kind of make those comments, it's just a picture of you and maybe your cat or your dog, and you know, it's your personal profile. But LinkedIn, it's still a professional social media network.
People need to, you know, be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't be yourself or have an opinion. Of course it doesn't, or disagree with the, you know, original commenter. It just means that you know, you need to be the professional person that obviously you are.
Right.
Because a prospective client might be looking at you, an employer, and you know, who wants to you know, employ someone who's unfriendly and rude?
Yes, exactly. And then that brings me on to, you know, the next point. The whole purpose of this, at least for the kind of clients that I work with, is to help them to build their business. It's not a diary. It's not Sex and the City and Carrie sitting there writing about what's happened with her and Mr. Big, right? The whole purpose is that you are going to build up your audience, and that can be on LinkedIn. Because
absolutely.
I mean, the way I look at it is that you could maybe don't even need a website, all right? You just go right out there with it. Okay, it's a good idea to have one, but if you are building your list and you want to share the content you've written, you can send people, you know, to your LinkedIn page, to your LinkedIn post, to your
you can definitely build a brand on LinkedIn. Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
And just by using even a commenting strategy.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of important that, you know, if any marketer or anyone recommends that you create more content, don't just think about blogging. There are other ways, and I think the LinkedIn challenge. What's the hashtag for it? Because I think this will be kind of good.
Hashtag LI top 10. So it's LinkedIn top 10.
Oh,
LI top 10.
I like that. Now, I will have to admit, I keep coming onto LinkedIn and then I go, and then I, you know, leave again. And I think for me, that is the challenge, is what to talk about. And I know that for me now, it's probably a little bit easier because I have a very clear strategy. But still, you don't really want to talk about yourself all the time. And
it can be really challenging to know what to write about, actually. So,
I'm such a how-to, and this is how you do things. And sometimes I'm thinking, oh, no, I want to do something different than just, you know, let me teach you how. So I think that will be really, you know, kind of interesting. Now, I will say to everyone, when I have been on LinkedIn, one of the things that I like the most is actually reading other people's and commenting on them. And I find that people will just keep adding me. You know, they'll just keep connecting with me. So if you really are looking to build up your business, this isn't really, you know, a bad way to go, because not only will you add your own content, but by interacting with others, you know, you will make those connections.
Absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself. So yeah, I'll be putting the link below for people to want to sign up to my 6-part email course and the LinkedIn challenge. And do we have anything else from you today?
No, but I think we should also put our LinkedIn profiles, you know, those as well, because I'm assuming that you're also taking part in your own challenge, right? She will be, because I will be, so you can at least come and have a look, you know, what we're writing, and you'll instantly be able to connect with everybody else who's on this challenge. I think that's it for today. So
okay, it's love, peace and great copy from me,
and see you from me. Bye. Let me forward.